Hey guys, I'm Tiffany Zemlak. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to actually lose weight for your wedding, and I'm going to go over the top 5 tips that all brides who want to lose weight and lose inches for their wedding need to know. Okay, and make sure that you watch until the very end because I'm going to give you a bonus tip that will give you more time to lose weight before your wedding. So not only have I been a bride myself, I've also been a maid of honor and a bridesmaid, and I've been super passionate about the fitness industry my whole life. In fact, I started working out at about the age of 14. And so I know that fitness can be kind of scary for some people to start looking into, and I know that so many brides, they just want to look their best on their wedding day and they need somewhere to get started, but they also want tips that actually work. So I'm here to tell you those 5 tips today. So when I got engaged in 2018, I knew that I had about 10 pounds that I wanted to lose just to feel super in shape for my wedding, and I had about a year to do this, and I did this without starving myself, without going on any really crazy diets, and without stressing myself out even more, which no bride needs when they are already dealing with planning the wedding. Okay, so let's just get right into the tips on how to actually lose weight for your wedding. Okay, tip number 1 is to start doing intermittent fasting. Okay, so I'm going to try and explain intermittent fasting in the most basic of ways here. Out of all of the tips that I'm going to talk about today, I think that intermittent fasting was one of the biggest things that helped me to reach my goal of losing 10 pounds for my wedding. When you are doing intermittent fasting, what you're doing is extending the period of time where you're not eating. So when I did mine, I would not eat from around 6 p.m. to 11 a.m. the next day. That was my period of fasting. So the reason why intermittent fasting is so successful is because instead of constantly digesting the food you're eating, the body is taking those nutrients and healing your organs. When you're also in this fasting state, you're probably in a calorie deficit, and your body will also start to burn the fat that you have. So it's burning fat without you even working out. So intermittent fasting, it can definitely take some time to get used to. That's why I would recommend to start incorporating intermittent fasting into your life about 6 months or 3 months before your wedding. If you have bigger weight loss goals than mine, I only wanted to lose about 10 pounds. But if you have bigger weight loss goals than that, then I think you for sure want to start at least 6 months prior, maybe even more. It totally just depends on what your goals are, but just give yourself enough time to slowly get used to intermittent fasting. And when I say get used to intermittent fasting, what I mean is slowly increasing that fasting period. So not eating from 6 p.m. to 11 a.m. may seem like a really long time for some people. So if you're really not used to this, or an extended period of not eating is hard for you, I recommend just trying to push back your breakfast 1 hour, maybe 2 hours every week if you can. And then just slowly build up until you've reached that period of time that you're comfortable with. Okay, tip number 2, you guys, it is time to detox. So many people don't know this, but we can actually accumulate more than 5 pounds of toxins each year, and this is sitting in our colon and our digestive tract. If you are one of those people that have extra tummy fat, then I think you're definitely one of those people that has some accumulated toxins, and so you need to detox 100%. And a lot of women who have extra belly fat think that they need to do so many ab exercises to get rid of it, but that is not the case, especially if you want to lose inches, because if you're building muscle in that area, you're not necessarily going to be losing those inches, even if you are losing the fat. So that is why it is extremely important, if you want to lose belly fat and lose inches, that you do a little bit of detoxing. And I'm not talking about anything crazy here. Remember, I said I lost 10 pounds before my wedding without adding extra stress to my life. Now, the 3 best ways to detox is to drink celery juice on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, to also make sure when you're working out that you're actually getting a really good sweat on. And then lastly, when you're working out, make sure you're working out hard enough so that you're out of breath and you're panting. It's kind of crazy, but actually more of our fat is excreted through our breath than it is through our sweat. Now, the one thing that's important to note here is while we are detoxing, we can't be adding more toxins back into our life. So we need to cut down on junk food, cut down on treats, and start eating more fruits and veggies. I know nobody really likes doing that, but it's just something you gotta do. Now, the other important thing here too is we want the detox to be really sustainable and really healthy. We don't want to stress out brides any more than they need to. That's why I recommend when you're starting to cut out junk food from your life, do it slowly. Pick one thing each week that you're going to cut out. That way, at the end of each week, you can be super happy that you've reached your goal of cutting out that one kind of not so good thing. And then in a month's time, that's 4 things that you've already cut out from your diet. And it makes it just a whole lot easier. So by doing these detox things like drinking celery juice on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, making sure when you're working out that you're breathing really hard, you're panting, and you're also getting a super good sweat on, and also not having those junk food items, the detox will happen and you will start to see the fat melt away from your stomach, and you will also lose inches as well. Okay, tip number 3, I highly recommend that all brides who want to lose weight for their wedding need to hire a personal trainer and work this into your wedding budget from the very start. Now, I know it might seem a little bit crazy to hire a professional to help you lose weight and to actually add this into your wedding budget from the very start, but if you think about it, you hire professionals to do your flowers, your photography, your cake, and so many other things, so why wouldn't you also hire another professional to help you lose weight? Now, I'm definitely not saying that you need to hire a fitness trainer for your entire engagement. That can definitely be expensive and not all of us have the funds to do that. I'm saying at least hire a fitness trainer for 1 month before your wedding. For me, when I wanted to lose those 10 pounds, I hired a personal trainer for just 10 sessions. Even though I've been super passionate about health and fitness my whole life, I knew that by hiring a personal trainer just for a little bit, he would give me more exercises I didn't know about before. He could go over my exact goals and create a plan for me to start on the right path, and also get me motivated, get me into that workout fitness mindset again right away from the start, so that you can just go full swing into your weight loss journey. Now, if you really can't afford a personal trainer, that's really not a problem. Just go online, find some online programs. I know Beachbody is a really good one. There's so many out there these days. Find one that works for you. I also think that group workout chats can be super helpful as well. You can even just start this with your bridesmaids and you just text in the group chat when you've completed a workout. I know for me, when I've been in these type of group chats before, when I see somebody else send in their text that they've worked out, it makes me want to go do the same thing, and it keeps me motivated. Okay guys, tip number 4, if you want to lose weight, you must be in some sort of a calorie deficit. This is a must. The great thing is though, if you're already doing the first tips that I have been talking about, you'll probably already be in a calorie deficit. You're going to be burning more calories by working out, you're going to be eating better foods, which typically have less calories as well, and you'll also be doing intermittent fasting, which typically lowers your calories too. The thing is, with this, you don't want to be in too big of a calorie deficit because you need to have that energy to get in those good workouts and just to continue living life and not be super miserable. To keep track of the calories that you're eating and burning, I would say just use an app. There are so many out there. My favorite was MyFitnessPal. I used this when I was losing weight for my wedding. I really liked using MyFitnessPal because it was super easy to use. You just put in the food that you've ate. You also can put in the exercise that you've done, and it keeps track of your calories for you. So my 5th and final tip is to stay disciplined. If you have a new workout routine, you have to stick to it. If you've decided to start eating better, you have to stick to that too. You have to keep that promise to yourself, and that might mean changing plans with friends or maybe planning ahead. You just have to stick to your goals. You are the only person that can stick to your goals and to make your weight loss journey happen. One of the things I really like to think about is that time is going to pass anyways, and so it's what you do with that time that matters. Each day counts, and there are no actions too big or too small. And weight loss definitely is hard, but that's why it's so important to be disciplined, and so you have to be that motivator for yourself sometimes. Okay, one final tip, one bonus tip that all brides who want to lose weight and lose inches for their wedding need to know is to actually book your final dress fitting closer to your wedding date than you might think. Some bridal salons and other seamstresses might recommend that you actually have your final fitting booked about 3 to 4 weeks before your wedding, but I say book it a little closer than that. The reason why I recommend doing this is because if you book your fitting a little bit closer to the wedding, you have an extra 2 to 3 weeks to lose weight. And for me, that was time that I thought that I needed, or at least I wanted. Okay guys, I hope that you enjoyed my video. I would love if you would like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below.